beautiful day here in Michigan. As you can tell, it's winter outside. I just kind of wanted to throw this video together. A lot of you guys that have been here with the channel, followed all my progress, have seen pretty much every project I have, except for one. There's only one that I haven't filmed, and I don't think I've ever posted it on any of the social media platforms, but it was one of my first big projects when I was still working at the diesel shop. And it is a diesel truck. I know some of you guys like things like that. Probably wondering why I'm carrying a tube or a piece of tube back here. It'll be pretty apparent here in just a second, but this is one of my first projects that I had worked on. I daily drove it for I think 3 or 4 years. It's a good little truck. It's a 96 Dodge regular cab 12 valve, the MV 4500, and it doesn't look like a normal Dodge. I'll give you guys that right away. I was always very ambitious to be different, but never really had much money to do the things I wanted to do. I really wanted to put on a big lift and 4-link, make it into like a rock crawler. It's kind of a dumb dream, if you know, from my recollection now. It just doesn't work like a gas engine does. The weight of a Cummins is quite a hindrance to it. So we're back here. I pushed it out back because I thought my township was going to hit me with blight when I was building the barn. And we'll just kind of talk it over. And I'll show you what that piece of pipe's for as soon as we get up here. So that's my Dodge. As you can tell, it's got a Jeep front end. I made all that tube, bent it all up at a friend's shop before I had my own bender. And that tube that I have back there is actually something I bent up for a tube fender to go from here up to the grill, but I quit driving it and then never had a chance to finish it up. It's got a few things done to it, and you know, hopefully this makes at least a few people laugh. It always brought some smiles to the people that were around it. You know, it's just something different. I don't have a whole lot of money into it. I bought it for I think $1,000 or $1,200 not running. I put a set of injectors in it. It's all different colors. It was an old farm truck. I had plans to basically rip off the fenders and just have a tube fender like a Jeep. Flat fenders up front, extend the hood so it'd come out to the grill area here. I was going to build a roof rack and then rip the bed off and build a tube like adventurer's bed. A couple things that I'd like to do write-ups in the future is this hub swap. So if you look this up, you can find information on it. But basically this is still a Dodge Dana 60 with a center axle disconnect, but everything from the ball joints out is a Ford Dana 60 of the same year. So the knuckle, the hub, the brakes, and the stub shaft, and then they just you use the regular U-joint and put them onto the Dodge inner shaft, and then, you know, the ball joints slip right in. Those are Ford knuckle swap. If you look it up, people have done that on these Dodges. And then you have a free spin wheel. I actually got really good mileage with this, and there's a reason why I quit driving it, but I'm, you know, hopefully going to get back to it and fix it up and have it driving next summer. But I had the starter solenoid weld itself together, and it just continued to crank and crank and crank. So a lot of you guys that have worked on the older stuff, when you get like a deader battery, it has a lot of like voltage spike when it comes apart, so it welds the solenoid shut, and then it'll just continue to crank even if you have the key off. That happened to me while it was running, and while it was running, it started like it sounded like a knock. But by the time I could get the batteries unhooked, which were in the bed, I have group 31s out of a semi in the bed back here on the other side. And by the time I got back to it, it pretty much fried all the wiring off. But yeah, it was a cool little truck. I used to get really good mileage in it, and I used to burn used oil and stuff in it. These old 12 valves really couldn't beat them. I mean, there's not a whole lot of creature comforts in it, but I had hood pins on it because race truck. I also did a alternator internal regulated conversion, which may be of interest to some people with older Dodges. It is not the one where you use like a first gen external regulator where you put the box on there. I've found that doesn't really work that well. It's actually a kit. You solder it, you take the alternator apart and then solder it into the board, and then it self-excites. When I get this up here, I'm gonna re-look up all the part numbers. It's been like probably 6 years since I've done it. I want to re-look all the part numbers up and put a video out on it. And if you guys are interested in that, then go ahead and comment on here and tell me that you're interested, and I'll try to get to it as sooner than that. But the reason why I brought that tube out here is to show you guys what it looked like with the tube fender. And I'm probably gonna try to set the camera up and just hold it in place, because obviously I never notched it or anything. But so guys, I never notched the tube off or trimmed it to length. I just left it long. As I said, I quit driving the truck about 2 years ago, so I just never got a chance to get back to it. Been working on other stuff that used to be my daily driver, so it was as many of you know, it's very hard to daily drive something that you want to make different. It's very hard to down your only vehicle, and back then I was fairly broke, so I didn't really have that much money to just go buy parts and throw them on there. It was always build stuff, so I would work on it a little bit on the weekends. It was a good time. I know a lot of younger guys are into the diesels, and it's a good hobby to get into. There's a lot of shade thrown by the EPA. I guess I just wanted to show you guys. Maybe it'll put a twinkle in one of your guys' eyes and want to build something like it, or just get you motivated to work on your stuff. So I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.